Hiya guys, and welcome back to Abe's Workshop. So a bit of a bits and bobs episode. I'm going to make the nameplate for the Mamod engine. The Fred Dibnah tribute, but make the nameplate that says Gordon, as I've talked about before. We'll make that today, or over the period of the next week, but probably already made it by the time you see this video anyway. What have I been up to? Yeah, we made that drill chuck arbor. I've ordered an arbor from, I think it was Arc Euro Trade in the end. MT2 with a tang onto a Jacobs 2 for the last of the chucks that was donated, so that I've now got the ability to use all of those on the various different machines. And you know, I was really pleased with those, and it's nice to have them in use. So yeah, I've done a bit more on cleaning up this little stationary engine. It's not as bad as I thought. I mean, obviously it's not clean yet, but yeah, just cleaning up all the years of grime and dirt. I haven't taken anything apart on it yet, but yeah, it's coming along. I mean, I've got the little chimney here. I haven't done anything with that yet. That sits in the pot here. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a bit more cleaning on that this week. There's a bit of a wobble in the flywheel. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I mean, and that doesn't run very true. It's sort of doing a bit of this. So I may see, has it got a bent shaft? We might have to do something with that. But anyway, this one ran on the tablet type burner. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of these ones, but it seems to be the way they go. I know you can get like a gel now, which you can put in these instead of the tablets, and they burn a lot cleaner, a lot less soot and muck. So I may look into seeing if I can get some of that gel for when we come to run this instead of using the sooty tablets. So yeah, I'll show you where we are. We got a bit of a method. I'm out of my comfort zone. It's something I've not done before, is any engraving in brass. You'll see, I'll show you. So Stanley knife's a bit rusty, just a little craft knife. Okay, let's put that blade away. So right, piece of brass, 8 thickness, 8, might have been 3/16. Made it up, cut the outside to size. There's little champers on the end so it fits the canopy. Put a couple of holes in, they're countersunk on the other side to depth for now. Printed off a basically the word Gordon, which is what the engine's going to be called, the Mamod engine. And obviously I can just about see the countersinks for the 2 screws, which are outboard of that. So what I'm going to do is mill, perhaps, I don't know, 0.2 deep all the way around, leaving a border, and then close to the lettering. And then the rest of it I'm going to hand engrave to remove everything down to that depth. Never done this before, so you're coming along with me on the journey. I've ordered a set of tools, miniature woodblock carving tools on Amazon, like 12 quid for a set of all different shapes. So hopefully, one way or another, I can make this work. It's going to be held in a little vise. I'll probably take it up the house, and it's going to be painstaking with a massive magnifying glass and good light, using the chisels, which are meant for wood, to remove the brass around the letters, leaving just the letters in place. So this is a piece of A4 paper, printed off, a sheet with the word. I was running out of black ink, so it had to be red because I was getting bits missing. So note to self, buy some black ink. So and I printed it off in various different sizes, and I used different fonts until I found something. I did find an ornate font, but it was just going to be, yeah, too hard. There was fine lines and what have you. I went for something basic, so that's the name Gordon, after the father-in-law. That's the name for the engine. I've mentioned that before. So let's see how we get on with this. So yeah, super glued it on, piece of paper. Just trimmed it, you know, around the outside afterwards. I did locate it in centre. So yeah, everything removed except for a border, leaving the letters. Fill it with black paint, flash it over the top on a piece of very fine wet and dry, or you know, we'll polish up what's left, and then the black should be the underside. So the holes are in already for mounting it to the engine. Let's hope that this works, or you probably won't see any of this, or you might on the third or fourth attempt. We'll see. Hopefully I get it right first time. I'm going to take my time on this. So it's really difficult to show this, but I've got a 2mm cutter. I've done around the periphery. We've gone 0.25 deep, and I'm just, as you can see, bringing the cutter down and pecking. And you can see I just cut around the outline of that. I've roughed out around the letters, you know, without touching. Straight line across the bottom, two straight lines, obviously missing the top of the D. I went out, back across, dug in a bit, gone across the top of the G. Yeah, I'm removing what I can with a milling cutter to save work when I come to the engraving stage. Just wondering if I can come up between the R and the D there. Probably can. Take a bit more meat out. I don't know if that 2mm cutter will fit in the 0, in the O's. Would be nice if it did. I'm going to have a look at that. Okay, that's roughing out done. So I've got the periphery done close. I did manage to get the centre of the two O's by eye, lining up, being very careful just off the surface, then peck them in. So that saves a bit of roughing out later. So yeah, the rest of it is going, oh, I might be able to get a bit there in the R. Bit in there, might take that bit out. That looks wide enough there for the 2mm cutter to remove a bit. So yeah, I'll do that final bit, and then the rest of it is going to be by hand. So that's where we're up to. I'm not too worried about the finish in the bottom. That's all going to be black enamel paint at some point. But yeah, I just need to cut. Yeah, just. This is where the patience and time-consuming bit starts. Is carving out around the letters. The paper did do a bit of distortion around the edges there, but I'm sure with when I've got a scalpel and what have you, and I'm scratching around that, we'll have it. The centre of the two O's did work, even though the paper's moved a bit. I'm going to leave them as they are, and then work my way around the outside of those. I've been fettling away at this for about 2 hours. I got my trusty magnifying glass here. Helps me, you know, see what I'm doing. So I bought a set of chisels. These things, right, on so wood carving chisels, basically, on Amazon. Weren't a lot of money, a bit rubbish, but it did allow me to cut sort of some of the detail, no problems, you know, carve it to a degree, but they quickly went blunt, so I do need to sharpen them. I can sharpen them on a diamond lap, that's easy enough, and they weren't particularly sharp when they came in. But what I did do was buy this. Again, Amazon, came with loads of diamond burrs, and it's a little USB powered pen. Runs at 12,500 RPM flat out. I think it's more. I think it's 25,000. Anyway, runs a hell of a lick, and it allows me to, let me just do a little bit on camera so I can see a little dinkus there. Just round that little. Okay, so I'm gradually, I've got a join between the R and the D. I've got to put a little channel in there, but I'm gradually, and I can rotate the vise. I don't really want to be doing this on camera because I need full focus, full concentration on this. But yeah, I'm just working my way around the periphery of all the letters. Once I got to a certain point, the paper that I had on there became useless. There were so many burrs and marks in it that I couldn't see what I was doing for the paper. So I took the paper off and just black marker pen with a Sharpie over the top, and that allowed me then to freehand, as it were, and get the, you know, the shape of the letters into where they got to be. My O's a bit wonky. This O's a bit wonky. Needs a bit dropping down of the hole in the middle. And again, the R and the D, I haven't gone much further on those yet. I'll get to those, but rounding off bottom corners, things like that. So yeah, I am getting there. Let me just turn this off before it goes flat. I've been doing all this. This has probably run for 30 minutes, 45 minutes maybe. Still hasn't gone flat, so it will at some stage. But yeah, that's really handy. So I've probably spent about 2 hours engraving the letters on this. They're not going to show up on camera. I'm just going to polish across the top surface and around the outside. Just some completely worn out wet and dry. Okay, I've taken any little marks or dinks out that I might have done while I was engraving it, little scratches. So next thing, spray the whole top surface of this black, and then I'm going to do the same again and remove back to reveal the letters, as it were. We'll see how it comes out. So my easy spot for painting, I shouldn't really do it, on the bed of the mill. I got the mill table here all covered up, a couple of little dots of, a couple of shots of the black paint. I'm going to let that harden off now and then flip it over, wet and dry. Let's see if we can reveal. So I've got the big sheet of aluminium. I've got a sketch of what I want. I'm going to make up one of the guards to protect swarf going in the motor on the mini lathe. So I'm chopping and changing projects, but I've just got lots of bits to do and loose ends. So I've scribed a line, what was it, 260 on the plate. I'll cut that off, and then it's got to be 255. This is 300 wide by a metre long. So I'll cut the 260 off. In fact, yeah, I'll cut 260 off and then cut it 255. So I'm having to go proper old school with it. Two flat chunks of metal, nice solid one on the bottom, piece of aluminium on the top, big G-clamp, and folding all the bends. So yeah, I mean it is what it is. I haven't got a sheet metal bender. Maybe I should make one of these days. Or okay, I think we'll get away with that. Yeah, I think we'll get away with that. That's for what it's doing. So yeah, I mean basically developed out the shape I want. Oop, that's it. So there's the tray. So there's going to be a couple of rivets in here. I put an overbend on here. A couple of rivets in there. Hold that together nice and square. We're getting there now. I'll show you where this is going to fit. So I spun the lathe round. So this part is basically I want a guard to keep swarf out of the motor. I don't mind swarf going on the bed or dropping down the back of the machine, don't mind that at all, but I don't want any getting in the fan enclosure of the motor. So this fits, and I've got a lot of room to work with here. Let's just get it in position. Hold on a second. It fitted a minute ago. What am I doing? What am I doing wrong? Since I put that up stand on, it's just catching in there. Okay. 2 seconds. Let me just move that out from there. Okay. Bring that to its most forward extent, which is about there. So this guard fits in here. Obviously I haven't made any facilities for screwing it down. There's a screw in the top of the motor which I can utilise. So it's guarded down the back there, down this side. No swarf can get into the motor. This upstand, there's going to be a plate in here. Across the back as well, probably with a tab on it to rivet onto the underside of there. So it'll be an L-shaped piece with a tab that rivets on the underside of here, and that will box this in. So the reader here, that'll stop swarf falling down the back of here, and they've made it just longer than the reader. So what it'll mean is that the guard, in effect, when it's fitted, will protect the end of this reader when it's in this area right up close. So yeah, I mean it is getting there. Yeah, I haven't thought about that fitting thing. It's that screw. Let me show. Oh. Yeah, that screw there will be one of the fastening screws. Put it back in again. That'll be one of the fastening screws in there. That'll make it sit nicely. I know this, if the motor wants adjusting, it will affect that screw position, but I'm not worried about that. I can't see this belt stretching at all. It's, you know, it is what it is. I've got a spare belt. I think it's going to be absolutely fine, but that's going to stop. I mean, swarf can't get down in there because It's well away from the back of the motor anyway, and even when this is way out, worst case, I would put another L-shaped piece in here just to stop swarf coming in round the back. So yeah, not a great worry with that. So yeah, I need to pop rivet that bit together now. Look at making the other part. Do I screw it on first? Probably. There's another mounting hole I could use here on the motor, which maybe with a little upstand might work. But this is holding me up higher than I want to be, so I'll probably use that screw, but I need to do some measurements, work out where that is. So off camera, made a little bracket with one of the offcuts, screwed onto the motor housing again, 2 pop rivets in the end, bent it 90 degrees. That stiffened it up, it's quite solid now. I do need to make a piece to come off here. It'll probably be low here, a little cutout for that, and then back up to full height and come out round the corner, rounded edge on it, flap underneath, couple of pop rivets. That'll stiffen it all up, make it more boxy. Yeah, and that'll be the motor protected. Now this motor is IP55 rated, so any swarf or anything, dust, muck that gets into that fan area isn't going to go through the windings of the motor. It's all sealed up. It's purely, all the fan is doing is blowing air over the external fins of the motor, so there's no way it's going to suck any rubbish into the windings, ruin the motor, that sort of thing. So yeah, those of you that were concerned on that, don't be, not a problem. We'll have to do a bit of cable management, and I'm thinking, obviously this is going to sit the other way around, that my box on the wall up there, when it's all turned around and the right way around and roughly in position, I'm thinking that the 2 displays for the readout, which are here, will sit up on that box on the wall, so I'll have a readout, you know, right in front of my face, as it were, when I'm running the machine. Anyway, that's for another day. Yeah, so it's coming along. I do need, let me bring you around the other side. So I will need to have to guard, this is bolted in place now, it's all clearing. I will need to have an aluminium guard on here as well, just I think just a 90-degree piece, you know, that covers the belt. Doesn't matter if it's open underneath, just comes down round here somewhere, just so that anything falls off or what have you, nothing's going to get snarled up in the belt. May put something mounted on here just as a inner cover as well. I don't know, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But so far so good. I'm happy with how the guarding's going, and it's something I've been putting off for a long time. So I think that'll do for this one, guys. Yeah, a few bits and pieces. We got to have the drill chuck, we had the little nameplate, which is it's behind me here drying the paint, so I can't show you that yet, but I will show you next week. And I got to keep going with the guards. So it's Saturday today. I think there's probably enough here for a video, bits and bobs, as they say. And then next week, well, it might be a follow-on to the bits and bobs, completing the little bits and pieces. Mini lathe wise, I've got the enamel paint. I had like a litre pot of the Warco green, the proper RAL coated enamel paint. What I might do is I can get aerosols made up, so I may get some aerosol cans for doing the guards after. I may leave them aluminium, probably will, but I do need to at some point strip the whole mini lathe down, right back down to the bare bones. I need to make some end plates for the box section that it's all sat on, and an access sort of disc ring, something that bolts on to be able to access the inside. But I do need to box those ends off, so that's going to mean stripping it to bits, taking the base of it into work and probably using the welder there. I haven't got a welder here in the shop. I'll have to measure it up, cut some plates to go in the end, probably bore a hole in one and have a access cap with some tapped holes and a circular bit of steel, something like that, so I can fill it up with whatever I decide to fill it up with. So just a question on that one. When I do come to fill the base up, I've been hearing sand is a good medium for anti-vibration in the base, perhaps with some oil in it, you know, oily sand, and let it settle and pack with that, and I can, you know, I can keep repacking it. That's not a problem as it settles. I don't want to go down the concrete road with it. Yeah, I'm just thinking some sand mixed with some engine oil, you know, that sort of thing. Standard oil, and then pack it in there, let it settle, maybe put Armadrill on the outside and let it vibrate down, and just fill it till I can't get any more in. That's the thought. There's all sorts I could use, but if anyone's got any other ideas of what sort of medium I could put inside it, then feel free to comment in the video, because I haven't thought that far forward. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. We'll see you all very soon. Cheers now.